Welcome, Brandon, to the World XP podcast. This is episode number 11. Super excited to have you on.
No, hold up, time out. We gotta start over.
Why?
You gotta say Dino.
Young Dino.
Yeah.
Welcome, Young Dino. Take two. I've been listening to your music for a little while. I know, obviously, we were friends in school, and then you left to kind of pursue this passion of yours, and it's been cool to see you come a long way. I think, like we were talking about on Saturday, your early stuff is not so good, and you've gotten better since then.
It's actually hot garbage.
So, I guess for people out there who don't really know you, what got you into the music sort of world? Because most kids like our age, when they're in school, they just go to school because that's what they're expected, like that's what's expected of them, and
Yeah.
and to make the decision to drop out to pursue something like that is a big step to take. So obviously you definitely felt some sort of passion, some sort of way to do that. So you want to run us through kind of how you made that decision to do that?
Um. Well, at school, I love Mary Wash. I love the people there. Honestly, I probably love the people too much. I had a little too much fun. Um. And I was doing terrible in school. Like I was actually trying for the last 2 semesters I was there, and it was discouraging not seeing my grades do well for like the first time in my life. I graduated high school with really great grades. So like I was very disappointed in myself. I'm the type of person to be very hard on myself. So when I got to the end of my last semester, I'd face a lot of stuff that I didn't think I'd have to face mentally. I
Hmm.
was the type to never think like I'd go through like depression or anxiety and stuff like that because of how well I did in high school.
Sure.
Um, but once I got to college, I was completely different. I went to a private Baptist high school, so going to a liberal college from there was a lot different. I was around a lot of stuff that I wasn't used to. So it's just like a whole different world for me. So being in a whole new world, plus like dealing with a lot of different things, I just felt like I wasn't who was supposed to be at all. So I knew how to get away from that. The last semester I had good enough grades. I raised my grades high enough to come back, but I was just like, I can't deal with all this stuff. Um,
Hmm.
so I realized like going through dealing with that stuff, the drugs, the alcohol, no matter what I tried to use to numb like what I was going through mentally, it wasn't going to work. When I came to that conclusion, I just started writing how I felt. And Post Malone's got to be one of my favorite artists. So I found a Post Malone type beat. I love music. I've always done music. Grew up in band.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I found a Post Malone type beat. Started writing how I felt. That was the first song I ever recorded with slow mo. So once I did that, I was like, yeah, this is something I need to do. All the songs after that were absolute hot trash. Like they were trash on that EP. But slow mo was like the one on that EP that I really felt like that was the one like I put all my emotion into because there's some shit I was going through and stuff. Um, but once I did that, I realized it was my passion. Like I got to keep making music. Um, but yeah, that's how I got into making music. It really helps me with my mental stability.
Hmm.
And even like now, like it's not just for when I'm going through bad times. Like if I have a great day, like that's really inspirational for writing some good lyrics. If I had a bad day, same thing. Meet a bad bitch, same thing. Like all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel. So you're sitting there at the end of school and you start writing, and now you're into this position where you're writing. So when you go to write, and you say you can draw inspiration from all sorts of different places. When you go to write, because I remember, I don't know if everybody else had this phase or if it was just like the band nerds or the music kids, but I think at some point everybody tried to write a song, and I remember trying to write, and I was like, this is like, for about 5 minutes I was like, this is good, and then I realized this is horrible. So
Mm-hmm.
like when you write, how do you write? Like how do you write? What's your process for writing? um Kind of how do you get it to the point where you're like, yeah, this is good, I can record this and turn this into a song?
So starting off writing, Slow mo was something like I don't know what it was, but like I found decent flows in there for like the first song I wrote. Like I was very surprised by myself with that. After that, like I would just stick with the tempo. That's why my songs suck. Like the flows were basic as shit. Um, so I count out the tempo because I'm a band geek, and when I was doing that, I just stick to the normal 4/4 beat. So I just say a word every downbeat,
Yeah.
and now it's like um, I don't know. I don't want to give away like too much of like all my writing processes, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, sure.
for me, it's like I still count out the tempo and stuff, but like I'm not so eager to hop on the beat. You know, I take my time like for hooks or bridges and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's like now since I know how to use auto tune, I'm still not the best at singing. My voice got a lot better since I started recording because like I'm singing constantly. I try to record like at least like 3 4 times a week. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing almost every day, so I'm like sitting there singing these lyrics that I'm writing. Um, Before like I just write lyrics. Like when I first started writing lyrics, I'd write them and I'm like, oh, these are all great. I'm recording all of them, and I go
Mm-hmm.
spend studio time, spend my hard-earned money on some shit lyrics, shit flow.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, like I got pickier with my flows. Like I take like weeks writing songs. I'd still write them. Like I spend time on them every day, and I take weeks writing them.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't settle for what I did before. And now we're at the point where it's like I already know like what flows are going to be good, what flows are not going to be good. So like immediately I'm thinking of the good flows now. It takes me about like it depends how much I've drank, how much I smoked, but probably like an hour or two to write my songs. And when I write them, like I don't write them unless like I know I'm gonna record them and drop them. Like everyone always has a bunch of like songs in the vault, which is good because like you stack up the vault for like future releases and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But like some people just have songs in the vault because they're not gonna drop them because they know they're not like good enough, or they'll drop
Mm-hmm.
them on SoundCloud or some stuff like that. But like
Yeah.
whenever I work on something, it's got to be good enough to drop on all platforms.
Yeah. So you hold yourself to the standard then where it has
Yeah.
to be good enough. So how much time do you spend sort of refining the song? So let's say like you have a 3 minute song, for instance, but how
I don't
much
think you'll
time?
ever catch me having a 3 minute song anymore.
Maybe two minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Like a two, okay, well, for argument's sake, two and a half minute song.
Mm-hmm.
How much time do you take? And then some of that is taken up by the hook, right? So you do that multiple times. But
Yeah.
how much time do you spend refining the wording, refining the verses to like the poetry, I guess? How much time do you take refining that? And do you enjoy it? Is that one of the things that you enjoy when you're writing? Does it get you into a like into your, I guess, like a place of mental sort of stability, like a place of like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Um, like clear headedness, I guess, maybe.
Clarity.
Yeah, clarity. Yeah, that's the word. Does it
Uh,
get you into a place like that when you're going through and refining the lyrics?
you mean refining like
Like you
like
get your
writing
idea.
wise or like editing wise, like mixing wise?
No, like the writing, like
Writing.
when you have your idea, like you wrote this down, and then you try on such and such beat one or two times, and then you have to
I
like
got
switch words around here and there, and you
you.
have to use different words, and you learn different words to say what you mean, but it has to fit with the beat. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
So with that, like before, like that's what I would do before. Like I write words down and then find a beat for it when I first heard out. I can't do that anymore because it's like so hard. Like trying to switch up words. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's easier just to find the words like with the beat, so you're not switching shit up. Um, for me, it's like on the last project that I dropped, I really enjoyed it because that's where like I feel like I honed in like on every time I worked on a song, like I had to be like completely there mentally. Like I put my phone on like airplane mode, like no one's disturbing me. Like I got to work on this. Got in my zone for each of them because I wanted
Mm-hmm.
everything to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, not perfect, as best as I could make it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but so I'd write them and I'd get in my zone. I'd write them and I'd record them. And after that, I'd give myself like a day just like to cool off because I'd be like, oh, this is hot. Like, this is really good. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, you just hyped up and stuff. I give myself a day or two to cool down. And then be like, I do it again, but like, it's just like a different mentality when you're going there. Like say like the first time, like let's say you walk into a pregame, right? And you're
Mm-hmm.
feeling yourself, all right? You
Mm-hmm.
got a good vibe going on. And it's like the first time you heard one of your favorite songs. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. But yeah, you know what I mean. And you're just like, oh my God, like I'm gonna remember this. Like this song, this vibe, everything.
Yeah.
So I'll get in that little zone. I'll get in my car because it's a lot different than studio speakers because these studio speakers make almost anything sound good.
Mm-hmm.
So out in my car, they have pretty good speakers, and I'll play a few of my favorite songs that are really well produced, like Kanye songs, Post Malone songs,
Right.
Lil Peep songs. Play a couple of those, and then I'll play my song, and I'll be like, does this hold the standard of that?
Mm-hmm.
When I'm like, or I believe like this holds the potential of that, then I'm like, all right, that's what I did this last time instead of refining my lyrics. And there were a couple bars I did have to rewrite, and like, but in those moments, I realized like exactly what I needed to realize, like editing wise, lyric wise, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like now it's like I just know when I've like the perfect time for me to write and like figure out what I need to do editing wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely gotten easier over the years too.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, most things are easier with experience. I mean, sure, there's some things that don't, but when you mentioned you've kind of figured out how you like your flows to go, and you figure out which flows work for you and which flows don't. Um, did you figure that out with sort of your sound too? Like I know when we were little and American Idol was a thing, like the judges would always say like you have to make it your sound,
Yeah.
or something like that. Have you kind of figured that out? And if so, like how did you go about that process? Was it just something that you were passionate about? Like you were like, I really like the way this sounds, or did it have to do with kind of like certain limitations that you had going in to
Yeah.
it, or was it a combination of that sort of stuff?
Um. Well, coming to find like yeah, they go hand in hand. Finding my sound, finding my flows. Um. Because when you're doing certain like let's take artists who don't sing like you got G Herbo and you got artists who can sing like Juice World.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different flows because Juice World can sit there and use his voice to drag out notes and it's very pleasing to the ear. While G Herbo, you got to keep going like every beat. Like
Mm-hmm.
so, once you find your sound, you figure out what you can do with your voice, and it becomes a lot easier to realize like expand your flows, expand. What it also gives you an opportunity to go on beats you didn't think you could go on before once you find
Mm-hmm.
your sound. And when I made my first EP, I didn't use auto tune really, and I went to the studio for the first EP. So I didn't mix, I didn't do any of that stuff. I had no idea how to do any of that. So I barely knew how to write
Mm-hmm.
music, honestly. Um, and computers, like it took me 15 minutes almost to log into the Zoom chat. I'm terrible with technology. Yeah, me working on my own music's got to be out of the question. So after I spent all that money and time on my EP, like I realized like it was me and it was also like me not being able to control how the music's mixed and mastered.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized I had to get my own equipment, saved up to get my own equipment, got my own software, and I started recording my own stuff. So me and my friend Nigel, we made our first album together, Dreaming in Color. There's honestly like some of those songs on there are absolute trash too, just because like I didn't know it was my first project I did on my own, like
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. And it was the first time I got a hold of any auto tune, so I went stupid. I was like, yeah, auto tune everything.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the songs are trash, but some of them on there, like we actually made pretty good songs. Like "Make Them Notice" is still one of my favorite songs to this day that I've made, and
Mm-hmm.
that song is a hit. "Got You on My Mind" is one of my favorite because my friend Cullen's on there. Well,
Mm-hmm.
his rap name's Cully. I did the video with him for Not Picking Up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the first time he recorded with us. And after that, he's like, "Yeah, I gotta get in the studio more." Da, da, da. So I try to get him in here as much as he can. But yeah, that was the first project. Like we were sleeping in the studio for so long. I don't like 2 3 months working on that. Like
Mm-hmm.
some of the songs are trash, but like it was just fun. Like I found out like what I love doing. Like I love mixing mastering music a lot more than recording it.
Yeah.
I love writing too, but recording is my least favorite thing.
So for the listeners, people who don't know what you mean by mixing, do you want to kind of describe that?
Yeah, so it's like when you write your music, you record it on the mic, and then once it gets onto the computer, you like when I record, I already have auto tune set up along with compression. But once that's recorded, I'll throw like effects on there. So like reverb, EQ, echo effects, stuff like that to like make it sound however you want to make it sound. And that's why I got my equipment, is because I wanted to make it sound how I wanted to make it sound. Um, so after that project, I upgraded my programming to Pro Tools, which is like what a lot of the big studios use.
Right.
I got the same auto tune they use. I still got to upgrade some of the stuff. Like my interface could be bigger. Interface, like the thing that connects the mic to the computer
Right.
for the listeners. Um, but yeah, so once I got Pro Tools, I recorded the song Roll One, and as soon as I recorded that, I was like, oh, this is my sound. Like, I forever will think like that song's gonna go platinum, because like that's where I can pinpoint like it's time to turn the fuck up on this.
Mm-hmm.
It inspired me as soon as because I recorded it on my old programming. I was like, I can't drop this yet. It's supposed to be on the project with me and I do it, and I was like, I can't drop it yet. There's something missing. Like the sound's not there. So I got the program. I was like, yeah, it's over. I know exactly what I'm doing now, like with my sound, because I got my presets on my effects and stuff like that, and that made it a lot easier for me to realize like, oh shit, I can sing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't sing, but I could sing with the auto tune.
Mm-hmm.
So that expanded my flows a lot more, made it a lot easier to write, which makes it a lot quicker to write. After that, it just became a load of fun, honestly. Like if all of this was free to do, like, bro, I'd have a blast with music,
Mm-hmm.
absolute blast. But that's the thing, yeah, money wise plus working and stuff. But yeah, so I found my sound with that, with the project. What's it called? Here I go. That's what I named it. Here I go. With that, I realized like my mixing and mastering wasn't up to par. So
Mm-hmm.
this last project, this very last one I just dropped, Composition of Bob's, amazing cover art by Flex God Pat. Shout out to him. He did a great job. Um, yeah, I realized like my beats, I gotta get the exclusives or the unlimiteds, because then like the sound's a lot more clear. It's a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier to produce with that. So I had to buy all those. And then I just got in my bag. Like I sat here and like it was a lot easier for my sound stuff. I expanded my sound more because I went on like a Chainsmokers type beat, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what am I doing with this EDM white people shit? Like, there's no way I could. And then it went. I was like, oh shit! Like I gotta do 10 more type of beats like this.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, my producers who make those beats made it really easy because those beats are really clean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I really went to work with the producing on the or with the mixing mastering. I feel like I did a pretty good job because I'm sitting there playing like songs from big artists, and then I'm playing my songs right after. I think the sound quality is like almost there, and it's not there due to like I'm recording in my bedroom with
Yeah.
an interface that I need to upgrade. But other than that, like once I upgrade the room and stuff, like I feel like it'll be right there.
No,
So
it's super good. I was listening to some of your stuff earlier, and Jenna walked in, and she was like, she didn't even realize that it was you. She just thought it was some mainstream rapper. So
that's hype.
the sound quality is there for sure. Is especially the beats that you have. The one thing that I've noticed throughout your kind of work is that the beats have always been really good, really clean. Like the producers that you get them from are like they do a really good job. It allows you. It makes it, especially now that you've realized you can kind of go through with your voice and you can hold notes a little bit more and you have some more creativity. It's a super, I can tell, at least after talking to you on Saturday, that
Mhm.
you have a lot more flexibility and freedom because you don't have to worry about the beats themselves. You can just get the beat and then kind of do your thing. And
Yeah.
I feel like it makes it a lot more fun for you. It's almost like a game, right? You get a beat that you really like, and you're like, let me figure out how to make this into a song that I like, and then that's where you have your fun.
Yeah. Because honestly, that's the thing I like the most. Like I said, mixing and mastering, but the thing I love the most about mixing and mastering is playing with the beat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love doing the beat drops and stuff. There are a couple songs where I don't do them on just because the beats are too tough to
Mm-hmm.
even mess with. But I love chopping up the beat, doing like the little DJ spin effect, and then bringing it
Mm-hmm.
back up, stuff like
Yeah.
that. I feel like just it adds so much more character. Like on the song "Bet," on the hook, and like right before the verse comes in, how the bass knocks or whatever, that wasn't there. Like I threw that in there and stuff. Like
That was a
it's so
good
much.
edit.
Yeah, it's just so much fun. Like, and as soon as you do, you're like, oh shit, this is hot. Yes. Yeah, it's exciting. So I love that stuff.
That's awesome. So is that what you could be doing full time, right? If you could just have your any dream career, money not being a factor, would you just be kind of like producing and mixing?
Yeah, I do that. I ghostwrite.
Mm-hmm.
I ghostwrite for females mostly, honestly, because it like, it's I don't know why. I just like I ghostwrote for my sister. I feel it was 10. I wrote it in 10 minutes. I feel like it's really easy to ghostwrite for female, just because like they're able to say a lot more shit without like, and they're able to if they're able to sing, they're able to hold notes. Like it just sounds a lot more pleasing,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they're not talking about some stupid shit. Like if they're actually like somewhat spitting, everyone's gonna be like, oh, they're actually spitting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but and plus, dudes never like dudes ghostwriting for them. They hate it, except for
Really?
Drake. Drake loves it.
Except for Drake.
Drake loves. But yeah, I do that. I'd still make my own music and stuff. Because that's always gonna be a passion for me, letting my thoughts out and stuff like that, whatever they may be, stupid thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
good thoughts, bad thoughts, whatever. Um, but yeah, I do it all. I except for making beats. I can't make a beat with shit. Chop one up, but I can't make one.
So you mentioned before, um, you're like you said, if you could make music for free, that's all you would do, and
Yeah.
you're so what kind of just so people have an
Whoa,
idea.
pause, pause, pause. Not make it for free.
I
Like,
meant like you
yeah,
don't have to
not
pay to
having to
make
pay
it.
to make
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah.
I want
Just
all the money. Yeah, stream my shit.
if you could make it for free from like produce it for free, so people understand what kind of what what kind of things you have to pay for, because I know when we talked, right, you have to pay for the beats themselves, and if you want the
Yeah.
exclusives you got to pay more, and then you have to pay for studio time, and then you have to pay for all the equipment and then the time that it takes you to write. So how difficult has it been for you to be able to produce the amount of songs that you have, given the sort of financial restrictions uh, associated with producing the sort of music that you are?
Well, it's been pretty difficult. Um, the past like with the new project especially. Luckily I got the Here I Go out before I started my own landscaping company.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really needed to do because after that I realized like all my money was about to go into that. Um, but with this new project, I really didn't plan to drop this like until the end of the year, but somehow I made it happen. Like you would have thought I was hitting licks on the weekend. Like that's how I made this happen. But um, I started my own landscaping company. I do that like 30, 40 hours a week sometimes. And like I was telling you, as soon as we started this call, like I told like my tire on my trailer blew out. I just realized like there's a hole in my truck tire. I gotta go get all my tires replaced tomorrow. There's a lot of expenses that I have to pay for, just for myself. Like everyone has their own expenses. Everyone faces like, and then imagine having to pay for like 150 to like $600 beats plus God knows how much I'm not even gonna say how much all this stuff costs for
Mm-hmm.
this studio, and like there's a lot of expenses that go into it, and luckily I didn't get screwed over by staying in college too long, so my credit wasn't terrible. So like I was able to like get uh like a credit line from where is it Guitar Center to pay
Mm-hmm.
for my studio equipment. But there's a lot of expenses to it, and there's a lot of like late nights that go into it. And by that, like I have a sister in high school,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't record during the week at night, and like I'm working all day, so I can only record on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I try to knock out as much as I can. I'll be in here all day sometimes. And the next day I'll be up working my landscape job, and then I just got a new part-time job downtown, so I'm doing that too. I'm tired as hell all the time, and like I don't even know like I mean, I do know how, like, it's because I have a drive, I have a passion to keep making music because I believe, like, my stuff's good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
before I was lying to myself that it was good, but, like, now, like, like, my stuff, like, once it gets in the right hands, like, I'll be all right. But for now, like, I gotta keep pushing. Dealing with
Mm-hmm.
these stupid tires blowing out and stuff like that, it's, like, all a
Yeah.
headache, like, money-wise, mentally, like, yeah. There's a lot of expenses but I realize like when I want to drop things, I just have to make it happen.
Yeah.
However, I'm gonna get that money. I'm gonna get the money,
Yeah.
and I'm
Facts.
not hitting licks on the weekends. That's not happening. That's really good for it.
uh,
I don't do that.
that's that's a lot. I know that's a
Yeah,
lot. I know people will question that, be like, "Why are you doing all that?" But if you got the passion for it, that's kind of what you got to do to make it happen,
yeah,
to make those sort of dreams and I guess we'll say a non-traditional sort of industry happen. You got to put in those hours. You got to put in the hours to make sure you have the money to be able to pay for the equipment, to pay for the beats, to pay for all the stuff that you need to get your stuff going. It's part of the sacrifice, right? That you need to make if you're going to hit it big.
yeah.
It's all part of it, man. It's part of it. And you're a great example of that. I was talking to somebody the other day about you after we had talked. I was like, dude, he's putting in all these hours with his own landscaping company. He's got a part-time job. He's doing all this just so he can do what he loves, which sucks from that you have to do that. But also, it's one of those things where in a creative sort of industry, like there's only a certain amount of time that people have to listen to music, right? And if you want to be one of the people that people listen to their music, you have to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
So it's a higher standard to hold yourself to. It's not like you're sitting in a desk job and people are going to watch you working at a desk. It's like it's a different sort of it's a different sort of world. Like you have to compete for people's time,
Yeah.
almost time and money. And so to do that, people are only going to pay if they think you're worth it. And you have to show them that you're worth it. And so it's
And I
kind of
realized like it was at the beginning of the quarantine. Um, people were always on their phones, so it was a great time to drop music, right? Like
mm-hmm,
it was the best idea. And that's when I dropped my project, the first project this year,
mm-hmm.
and it did pretty good numbers, and it's still doing decent numbers, honestly. Um, but I dropped this new project, and I realized people might be tired of being on their phones,
Yeah,
and yeah, people are. So it's like it's always a changing industry and stuff like that. So it's like I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it. A lot besides just like making the music. There's a lot of plotting, like trying to figure out when's the best time to drop and stuff like that. Like this week, thankfully, like the streams picked up. They like tripled, quadrupled almost this week. So it's like
that's
that's
awesome.
yeah, that's a weight off my shoulders. But yeah, I need a manager to handle that shit. That's just so stressful.
Yeah.
At least I figure out where like I can promote stuff now. Promoting is a huge part of it. So
Mm-hmm.
I figured out.
How have you been with the promotion and the marketing side? Because that's a whole different side of to that industry. So have you had to learn, or you have people to kind of teach you, or you're kind of just doing it on the fly and trying to figure out what works?
I learned it. There are some people when I first started making music who told me certain things that were a complete lie, and like I got I lost a lot of money on stupid things like that. So I realized like that's why I got my own studio, my own stuff. I was like I realized whatever I want, like I'm gonna have to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So like I learned all the promoting stuff um, by watching like interviews, just I don't know, like Google really helps. Like learning how to promote on Spotify, learning how to get playlisting's huge, and that's why my streams are doing good because I just got 3 playlist spots that are huge on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've like there's just one thing that was common sense for me is like on Instagram you can promote things,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously promoting on there, but like depending on this is one thing I will share though, like it's helped me big time with promotion. Like I've gained like at least like 300 followers since the beginning of the year because of it. Well not no, it's like 250, something like that. But and with that comes streams because people don't just follow you for like just to, like if they know you, they're gonna follow you and stuff. But like if I don't know you, I'm following you for a reason. Like I
Mm-hmm.
like what
Yeah.
you're doing type stuff. So it's like those follows come with streams. So the type of music that you're dropping, is it like a drill, like the drill beats that I have, they go huge in Russia, they go huge in the UK, they go big in New York because Pop Smoke goes stupid on them. So like those are good ideas for places to promote drill beats. You got like a West Coast beat, obviously promote on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Just like stuff like that, like a country beat, probably like West Virginia, something, I don't know. But yeah, just like common sense stuff with promoting like that helps. It goes a long way, but also helps like knowing the right people. Because like with playlisting, like you have to be able to trust a person. Like
Mm-hmm.
with this playlist, like I just felt it. Like you gotta get that feeling right in your gut. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like
Yeah.
this is a big move. You gotta do it. And like I got screwed over a bunch, and like but the dude seemed like he was reliable, and like he had post pictures with like Lil Tecca and like Kobe and stuff like that. I was like, all right, let's trust him with this one. So I sent him a decent amount of money for his playlist, and like he didn't message me for like 4 days, and I was like, I'm not gonna freak out. I'm not gonna freak out. And then I hit him. I was like, yo, he's like, what's good? I was like, just trying to see when you're gonna be putting him on the playlist. Just let me know. Da, 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 da. And then the next day he hit me and we were talking or whatever, and he's like, all right, bet, I got you. So I paid him for one playlist and he put me on three. So I was like, all
Mm.
right, bet, that's hype. So yeah, relaxing those 3 days really helped me out because I was about to freak the fuck out. I don't know what I would have said to him if I did, but
Yeah, I mean that's scary, right? You send a dude money and not knowing whether or not they're gonna come through, and
yeah,
you can't really go get it back. You can be like, especially if you're sending through like Venmo or whatever.
yeah,
The industry is kind of like you gotta definitely that trust factor is and finding reliable people. I feel like is a huge thing. If you find the right reliable people, they can really help you.
yeah.
Um, that's nuts though. How's the So you talk about playlisting on Spotify. How does that work?
For Spotify, before you drop a project, you have to submit your project. Like for me, I like to submit mine. Like try to submit it 2 months in advance. This
Mm-hmm.
last one, I got in like a month and a half in advance, just because like there's a couple problems for some reason with like two of the files I was uploading,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't, but whatever. The song still came out the same. They're exact same files, so it was weird. But yeah, for playlisting for Spotify, if you put it up 2 weeks before at least, um, it'll pop up on your Spotify artist thing. You have to go on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
It'll pop up like upcoming music or upcoming releases. You click on it and you can submit certain songs for certain playlists, or not for you can't pick the playlist, but you can submit them and then pick like the genre that like you think would best fit the song and like stuff like that. And
Right.
then you playlisting. For this playlisting that I got, just like out of nowhere, dude just hit me. Like, yo, I was like, what's up? He's like, your shit hot. I fuck with it. Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I click on his page, and like, only people who ever message me that is like someone who's like 20 followers, and like they make beats. So like, the next thing they're gonna do is like, I got beats for sale. Then they send me their link, and it's like trash beats. But this dude, I click on it, and he's got like, I don't even know, like almost 200,000 followers. I was like, bro, who the hell is this dude?
Yeah.
I was just chopping it up with him, and like he's like, "What you got? What you got? In the works?" And I was like, "I'm about to drop something stupid." He was like, "For real? You need help promoting anything?" I was like, "Yeah, I really need help." And he was like, "All right, send me the link for it." So I sent him the link for Bet like the second I dropped it before like the album drop,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "I can do these playlists for these prices." And I was like, that's a lot of money. I don't know if I want to do that. And he's like, I promise I got you. Matter of fact, take a look. So he sent me this link and he's like, scroll to the bottom. So it was like one of the playlists that I got put on.
Mm-hmm.
I scrolled to the bottom and like my song was on there. I was like, oh, bet. Like, so I could probably trust this dude. He's already got like, he's like, yeah, like I can do it for you for real.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I trusted this dude. Um, but yeah, that was just by the grace of God. I got this playlist thing. Other than that, like playlisting at this stage, it's pretty hard to get good playlisting. Unless you have friends, like unless you have friends who do make playlists. I know friends of friends who go to like JMU or like Coastal, like, and they are huge party throwers, like, and they DJ all their parties. So they got
Mm-hmm.
1,000 people who listen to their playlists. So like that's a good way to get playlisting. But other than that, like getting a playlist is hard as hell.
Yeah, but it does the work for you, right? So like it gets the exposure for you,
Yeah.
gets your stuff out there. For every like random playlist that you're on, you have somebody be like, "Oh, I like that song. Like, who is that?" Or and then they go check you out, and then they check the rest of your stuff out, and then you get the streams up. Are you making? Not that it's all about money, obviously, because you love your music, but are you making enough back off your music for this to be viable? Kind of like, do you see the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit?
Um, that's where like another reason I feel like mixing and mastering music is gonna be where I end up. Is I see the money in that being a lot bigger in the long run because as an artist, like without the thing as an artist is I look forward to is doing shows. Like I really want to go on tour. I really just want to like go stupid on stages. Like it'd be an absolute blast. I feel like I'd be
Mm-hmm.
great at performing. Like I've done one show and I feel like I did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was hyped the whole time. Like it's just so much energy. Like when you when
Yeah,
people
I remember seeing videos for it. I think you looked really natural on there, and you look natural in a lot of your videos as well. It's one of the things that I noticed. Like other people that we know that kind of have tried to start this, they don't have this natural sort of performer feel about them. But for whatever reason, you've got that like that vibe about you that you
yeah,
seem comfortable up there.
except for my first music video, I don't know what the hell. I was high as hell, and I was down in Richmond. It was my first video, my first song I recorded. So I was like, I don't know what I was doing, but after that, I like got a decent idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. After
Well,
that,
what was it like when you performed live?
it was a small venue, very small venue downtown. There was maybe like 30, 40 people there max.
Mm-hmm.
But I had this dude, and he was in charge of the show, and he owns a studio in Fredericksburg too. And he was like, "Yeah, I got you. I'll put you on the set." So I paid him like $30, and he put me on the set. And I get in there, I see where I'm at on the lineup, and he's got me second to last. And I was like, "Bro, like." And the show started at like 11 p.m. So I was like, "Bro, no one's gonna be here to watch me. There's like 10 other performers before me, and like no one's gonna be here to watch me."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "It is what it is." Like I think I put who I thought was best first. I was like, "All right, I see how this is." So he had a few of his artists go, and then he had some like I don't know who they were, but some like big like fat motherfuckers walked in there with some like the biggest chains I'd ever seen in person. Like, bruh, they were dripped out and like they just came in and fucked shit up and walked out. Like they was there for 15 minutes, did their jump, like people went stupid, and then they took half the crowd with them. After that, there's like maybe like 60, 70 people there. And like by the time I got on, there's like 30, 40 people there.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Nigel get up there because it was me and Nigel performed our songs that we did for the album. And
Right.
like I said, make them notice is one of my favorite songs to this day that I've ever made. And as soon as we started playing the beat and like people just everyone just started talking. No one was listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
And the beat dropped and Nigel started going stupid. I started going stupid. And like I see everyone pull out their phones and like put Snapchat on like with their flashlights and shit. And everyone's going stupid. So like even though it was a small venue, like you can watch like the Travis Scott joint, like his first performance, like
Mm-hmm.
it was like a small crowd. Well, our crowd was a little bit bigger there, but it's like the same type of vibe. Like everyone was like going stupid to this. I was hype as hell. I was like, this is like the thing I look forward to. And
Mm-hmm.
like one of the reasons like I keep like whenever I get like down and like I don't feel inspired to make music, I'll watch Lil Sky's his tour videos and those are just like that's the lifestyle I want. Just go stupid on stage and then go like to the driving range with your friends or go like shoot around or go bowling and then you
Mm-hmm.
do the same shit next night. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like performing gotta be the most fun thing in front of a sold out crowd. I want to do it so badly.
Yeah.
I look forward to that day. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, hopefully quarantine lets up and you're able to go do that for
If
sure.
not, I'll move away from here, dude. I can't. We can't. I can't keep living like this.
Yeah. Did you have that moment of like when you saw nobody was paying attention and people were just like talking and not listening at all? Did you have that like that little moment of dread, like, oh geez, what if we bomb?
Nah, I don't know why. I was just so hyped. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I was like, this shit's hot. Like with Make Them Notice, like I'm telling you, like that song's a good song. I was like, as soon as I hear it, because I knew like I'm not trying to like disrespect any artist, because like this stuff, like a lot of my songs at first were trash, but like the people before me, like I knew they weren't like their music wasn't up to mine and stuff like that. A lot of the artists were. I feel like I should have been one of the first on the lineup, and I was like, the people who are here, like they're staying for the people after me, so I know how they're gonna sound. I was like, we're about to rock this shit,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's why I'm hyped to perform. I feel like
Yeah.
that's how it's always gonna go.
Yeah. Mm. I guess you guys were running on adrenaline at that point, because I know if it
Oh my
was me,
god, bro! I was shaking. I was sweating so. Oh my god, I can't tell you how bad I was sweating.
because I know if it was me, and I noticed that like that first second, where people weren't like paying attention, I'd have been like, but
No, the only thing I did worry about, I was like, I swear to God, Brandon, if you crack this first note, we gotta walk straight out. Because whenever I'm hyped, like I try to like hit way too high. Like I
mm,
missed the note completely, go way too high. And
mm,
if I was like, if I didn't calm myself, I was gonna, I don't know what it was gonna sound terrible.
yeah, that's wild though. Anyways, it's like to think being on a stage like that and performing. Like obviously, I've not done that, but I feel like that's like a special sort of experience. Like I hear comics talk about it often, like that feeling that you get when you go like slay. It's like
Mm.
no other feeling that you ever get.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like we killed it, and I love it. And like ever since then, I was like, I'm not doing a show unless it's like in front of another like I got to keep getting bigger crowds. I can't settle for like another tiny show. Like I'm trying to do something stupid. Like I'd love
Yeah,
to open at the Fillmore. If I get to connect at the Fillmore, I'm definitely trying to open there.
yeah. Is there some part of you that like I feel like paying your dues in terms of what venues you get? Like as a new performer, you have to work your way up to kind of the bigger venues.
Um, don't get me wrong. Like obviously, like it's a grind. Like because I've been at it for a few years, and like it's you definitely got to put the time in to get what you need out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like time wise, paying your dues, I think that's a little crap. Like
Yeah.
I think like because there's a lot of people who have been at it for 10 years who are around here, and like I believe like my stuff, like I believe a lot of music around here doesn't compare to my music, and like when I say that again, I'm not trying to be cocky. It's just like I believe in my music that much, and like I hold my music to that standard when I'm working
Sure.
on it. Like I will not settle for like my music being anything less than what I can make it, and
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, I mean, yeah, I would do smaller venues, obviously, but like I'm not trying to pay to perform again, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, smaller venues and stuff. Like I'd love to do like a 200 people venue, so something like that. Like how I do house parties, obviously. Like people pay for house parties, and like I don't care how many people are house parties,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Because house parties, everyone's gonna pay attention if you got a performer at a house party.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
but yeah, I mean like people always talk about like you got to stay down, you got to pay your dues, and obviously that's true. You can't sit there and try to rush it because then like your thoughts will get ahead of you. You'll get discouraged on like you not being where you want to be, but you also I don't know. I feel like I said the time. I'm not talking about time when I put time into it. It's hours in the day rather than days out of the week. So
Yeah.
like I'm grinding more than like people usually because people have to pay for studio people there's a lot of people out here still paying for studio time. They've been at it for 40 years. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm living in my studio. I'm doing this every day.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've paid a lot of dues. Like I've dealt with ridiculous amount of bullshit when it came to this music stuff, and like I don't know. That's
Yeah, I
why
mean,
I like
you definitely
no.
put the grind in, right? You got your landscaping stuff, like we were talking about earlier. You definitely put the grind in to make it happen for sure. I want to switch gears just a little bit and go talk kind of about the music video side of things because I think the my favorite, at least of the ones that I've seen, is the Plain Jane one because it just looks like you guys are having an absolute
Yeah,
blast on the ATVs and you guys are just chilling. You're
yeah,
hype. Do you have sort of an idea of what you want before you go into recording, and does it have to do with the song, or is it just kind of like whatever you're vibing to at that time? Like how do you come up with the concept and then like kind of execute that concept?
For well, for the roll, wait, not roll one. What was it, slow mo? For the slow mo video, I had no idea. Like it was my first video. I met with the videographers that the studio used, and I put all of it in their control. I was like, we could do whatever y'all want to do. That's what we did. Second one was me and Nigel's video to "I'm Sorry."
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't really have an idea on that. I just told to do what kind of effects I wanted, like, and like I gave him like two locations we could shoot at. Then the next video was the roll one video. For that, same thing. I was like, this is what I want. It's like a roll one. Like I just want to be smoking in this joint. Like we're chilling, like
Mm-hmm.
drinking. Whatever. Plain Jane. I thought it all out. Got the fireworks 2 days beforehand. Like ATVs got washed the day before. I told the dude exactly like what I had in mind, and he put it together, like down to like the intro to the video.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want to pull up and then like hop off, and like as soon as I plugged the amp into the guitar, like that's when I want the beats to drop, and like he killed it on that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, all the details for that one I had in mind. A couple things didn't go as planned because like certain areas we couldn't shoot at, it was too muddy. It was a lot darker. Like, well, I wanted to shoot half of it at night because out there we were in a field out in Caroline, and
Mm-hmm.
at night when the sky's clear, the moon's really bright, so like it would have looked absolutely insane out there when
Yeah.
if it was like that. But it was storming half the day. We're like, shit, let's just do it because it was about to storm again at night. So we just shot it, and then it started storming like the second we finished shooting it. But the man who shot it, like he kills it. His name's Wonderance. He shoots Money Mars videos, a lot of big DC artist videos, and yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He shot my last one too. Ran into some difficulties. It was not Cohen's best day on that day. He was having himself a little trouble that day. So I had to help him get going and stuff. We couldn't
Mm-hmm.
really put together some of the stuff we planned to put together. But we got the garage scene done, which I wanted to get done. I had spray painted my garage in the back, spray painted the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Hey, mom, you mind if I spray paint the garage?" Hell no. Who do you think you are? I spray painted the garage. But I promised her I spray painted back whatever because we're gonna move again. I was like, before we move, I'll spray
Mm-hmm.
paint back. But some of it went as planned. Like the fireplace too. Like
Yeah.
how the fireplace. I feel like that was very crucial. Um, but yeah, most of them for now on they're going as plans. Like going as planned for the next one. Like well for this album I had planned to drop a video to Bet and that didn't go as planned. So I'm probably gonna drop a video to that eventually. But like I might honestly just wait for a couple years, like a couple months, couple years. Who knows? I feel like just a random video to an old song would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see about that one.
Do
But
you
yeah,
do you enjoy shooting music videos?
yep. Because I drink a little more than I usually do for those days and just jump around and shit. For the last one we did, like it was a chill video, so like I tried my best to like sit still for the parts I was supposed to sit still for and whatnot. But like,
Mm-hmm.
and then plus taking care of Colin, I was like, well, not taking care of him, like just making sure he was straight or whatever, get him going in the morning. Yeah, I had to drink a little extra that morning, so
Yeah. How much
that
goes
there.
into that? How much goes into the planning for, because you said you wanted to keep them all planned moving forward. How much goes into that from the equipment, like the outfits that you guys want to wear, like you said with Plain Jane, you had the off-roaders, the ATVs in there.
Yeah.
Like how much goes into that? Like you said, you spray painted the garage. Like how much
Like
effort goes into it?
I said, like um, a lot of the money that I have goes into the music. Like a lot of the time money I have goes into music. So it's like when it comes to the videos, like I really have to save up for those. So most of the money is just going straight to the videographer.
Right.
Um, but for the Plain Jane video, those ATVs are mine actually.
Mm-hmm.
For the guitar that I smashed, my friend sold it to me for like $50. It's
Mm-hmm.
like an expensive guitar, but I was like, bro, I gotta smash it. So yeah, and then the fireworks were like a couple $100. And I think that was the only props we had. Like all the rest of this like stuff I have here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, not picking up. We not picking up. The only money I spent on that was the paint for the garage wall, and I just bought spray paint. I was like, bro, I'm not spending a bunch of money on other paint.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like we just shot it at Cullen's house. Oh yeah, and then I bought a ring light for it just for lighting, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I planned it out a decent amount. The one I had for bet, I've had that planned out for God knows how long, like at least like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
I still like, unless I think of a better idea for it, I still want to do it the way I've planned to do it. And that's gonna be like more like a movie scene type thing. I think that's gonna go insanely well. For that one, also like the only thing that's gonna cost money is like some masks and like I don't know, like $20 worth of props. Like there's not too much that goes into it besides the videography. Because the dude, he's got a great camera and he knows what he's doing. Like so, yeah. But when I get the money, once I start making a huge amount of money, there's gonna be a lot of money going into these videos. I'm making them insane.
Yeah. Is that where you have like if you could have an unlimited budget, would that be where you would it go into kind of live performances and then the videos themselves? Is that where you have the most fun interacting with people aside from like the mixing?
Yeah, it'd probably be, and a lot of it would go into promoting for like tour and either videos. A decent amount would go into videos, but like I'd also like if I had to, if I'm just doing it like for me, like I'm not a signed artist to a label, I'd probably pay for a couple features from artists like I really want to work with, like Post Malone, like I don't know, like
Big ones.
so many other artists like I love.
Yeah.
Like Polo G. Like I'd love to work with Polo G. That'd be tough. Yeah, I'd probably pay for some features and stuff. I love collabing with artists like Cullen. Cullen is really Cullen's really creative, and that's why I love working with him. He sees a lot of different flows that I don't see. And then Nigel, I love Nigel's sound. Nigel's a really great. Like I think he's one of the best sounding rappers, like in Virginia, in my opinion. And there's one dude I had on the project. Here I go. His name's what was his rap? I forget his artist name because he changed it for that project. But his real name's Saban, and like he went to Berkeley, and he's someone who's helped me big time with mixing and mastering because he's learned a lot about music. So he's like showed me things that I didn't learn before. Like I wouldn't have learned from like YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. So the artists I work with, I love working with them. So I really enjoy working with other artists. And I told you I wrote I ghost wrote a verse for my sister. Like
Yeah.
I'd love like if artists would come and record a verse for free, I'd ghostwrite the hook the ghostwrite the verse for free.
Yeah.
I just love collabing with artists in any way I can, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, not all artists, just like the ones I enjoy working with.
Yeah.
I
There's personality clashes and things of that nature, but
yeah.
Does your music background, you said you were a band nerd. I was also a band nerd. Does your music background help you like when you're picking out beats and things like that and you're writing your flows? Because I know that, or it seems to me anyways, like there's some, we'll say, people trying the music thing out that when I listen to their stuff, I'm like, it doesn't seem like they're counting at all, or they don't know how to read music or anything like that. How do you incorporate that music background into your flows and how you pick your beats and things like that?
Well, with I actually just when you said how you pick your beats, I never realized that actually like is one of the reasons I'm really picky with my beats. Is I was a band nerd. 6th grade to 12th grade played French horn. And we were absolute dogs. Won national competition. Our school did 32 years in a row. We won all years that I was there, that I played. But yeah, in order to win that many times, like you have to be a good band and you have to play hard music. So
Yeah, for sure.
Our band director, all of the music he picked was absolutely insane.
That was the same with us. Like we performed at Carnegie Hall in New York.
Yeah.
It's like you don't get, like I had a solo at Carnegie Hall in New York. Like you don't get to do that unless you play hard music and you learn how to play. Like you can't go play Hot Cross Buns and expect to go win national competitions and perform at Carnegie Hall.
Hot cross buns. But exactly. So that's why like I just realized that I'm really picky with my beats because he was really picky with music. So like whenever we heard another band perform some cheesy ass music, like it sounds cheesy.
Hmm.
And like whenever I hear a simple ass beat, I'm like, bro, this is trash. But
Hmm.
then I don't know, like some big artists like will go stupid on them. But like for me, it's like if I'm paying money for a beat, like I want the beat to be insane by itself. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's helped me a lot because like I don't know with harmonizing, like I have a ear for harmonizing. It doesn't mean I always have the voice for the harmonizing, but I
Yeah.
know the notes I'm supposed to hit. Sometimes like just certain keys, it's like hard for me to hit them. But yeah, harmonizing bands helped with that. Counting obviously. The last project I dropped, what the fuck I'm supposed to do. That's a drill beat, so it's like it sounds like it's cut time or 3/4 whatever.
Hmm.
And honestly, with the flow for that, I picked the flow for that because there was a song we did was it my sophomore year, I think, for state, and it was in cut time or 3/4
Hmm.
time, and the beginning of it was like do 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 do. So I was like, all right, fuck it, we'll go with that flow, and that's what I did, and it
Yeah.
sounded tough. So I was like, yeah. So like even down to like things like that, yeah. Music backgrounds helped me a lot. That's the only reason I'm pretty decent at mixing and mastering is because like I know the sounds that I need to have in there, and like the computer why like the computer technology side of it, like I'm not the greatest at. Like one time my computer crashed in the middle of a session, I was like, bruh, like I thought I lost everything, and like I
Hmm.
learned like the files back themselves up and stuff like that. But yeah, music helped or bands helped a lot, and it's helped me stay disciplined with it too, because like you have to practice for hours to be good,
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
for national competition type stuff. So in here, it's like even when I'm so close, but like I just want to be done already and just settle
Hmm.
for where it's at. It's like, nah, it can be better. If you can make it better, you're gonna make it better.
Yeah.
So yeah, bands helped a huge amount. Um, I even like back then, everyone made fun of me for it, but like all my public high school friends made fun of me for it because they didn't understand like our band was our football team basically. Like I said, we were dogs, and like all my friends, we played basketball together. Like we won state championships as a basketball team, and then we go play the French horn, trumpet, and clarinet together. Like it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That's tough. The harmonizing thing is a really good point. It's like, like when you were talking earlier about, I forgot what song it was, but you were like, it's missing this one thing. It's like you've got the ear for it now. And sometimes I notice that with myself as well. I'm like, oh, this song would be a lot better if it just had this like one undertone here, or this like
Yeah,
thing added here, this piece of percussion added there. Like I feel like it would be better. So like for you guys, when you're producing and mixing, especially when you said you chop up the beats, that probably makes it easier. You have that ear for it. It's like, hey,
yeah,
you want to add this bass here on this downbeat because you think it'll go better with how the thing flows or whatever. Probably,
yeah.
I think it helps probably more than a lot of people realize. You're like, why did he add that there? It's like, well, because he knows like the sounds and when it's supposed to be added, when the downbeat is, like
Mm,
how different keys work, how different, like you said, cut time, standard time, like how all that stuff works.
yeah.
And it helps you write as well. I'm guessing
It
because
helped
it
all
like your
aspects.
flows help you. Like writing in cut time is different than writing in standard time. So it's a whole thing. Yeah, for sure. That's a good point, man. For like definitely like underrated part of your story, I would say.
I feel like that's like mm, why my time that I've put in like has been sped up. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten the reason, like I'm where I'm at this soon because I mean I've put in 3 years, but like when was it? 16? It was 3 4 yeah 3 4 years,
Yeah, 3.5, I think.
yeah something like that. But so like it is a long time, but like not really in the whole aspect of it, like as a whole lifelong career.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like that background has helped me big time, huge. Because I would have taken years for me to like learn and like listen, like because now I just hear like when when I got auto-tune, like I was able to go to the mic and like when I sing, like I can hear the note. Like you're able to just hear the notes you're supposed to hit. Like
Yeah.
so like I would have had to work at this for years to be able to get an ear for that type of stuff. And then same with harmonizing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's helped and it's also sped up the process of everything too.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Do you have, let's see, I think we're getting close to a good point to end, but do you have one, if you had one piece of advice for people that are currently where you were 3.5 years ago, what would it be?
Um, I'd say don't listen to anybody um, at all. You know exactly what you want to make. People around you will tend to tell you what they want to hear, but this is what you're going to do. And eventually, if you get good at making music in the genre that you like or subgenre you like, you're going to find your crowd. And it might take a little longer because you're not surrounded by people who like that subgenre. But just if you stay true to yourself and you work at your sound. This is something you can't just sit there and hop in the studio every other. Everyone says like you can take your time as an artist and stuff, and yeah, you can. And this is a craft. This can be a hobby, like just a way of letting things out. But if you want to make this like a career as an artist, like you got to put in the time. You got to do your best almost every day to do something music wise, whether writing, recording, like promoting yourself, even like just posting a photo. Like you got to be doing something. It's like social media is so big nowadays. Take
Mm-hmm.
advantage of social media. Um, TikTok, if you can get some of those uh, little TikTokers to post anything, like TikTok's huge. Um, and know what you're getting out of your money because people like to, especially as a new artist, people love to take advantage of your pocket because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know how much studio time is actually worth. You don't know what you're about to get out. You don't know how much better other places sound. Like you really don't be afraid to second guess like situations that you're in, whether it be with promoters, yeah, people who are recording you, even like people who want to hop on a song with you because like someone hop on a song with you and then they're like, oh, just send me the link to the beat so I can write to it, and then they buy the beat, that song's theirs. And I've had that happen to me before. Like so just like know who you're surrounded by. Like yeah, there's a lot of, for young artists to learn, but I think if they stick to it they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good advice for sure. All right, where can we find your music and your profiles?
um you can find, what's my Instagram, let me see real quick. My Instagram, what is my Instagram? Oh, Instagram's underscore young underscore Dino. Then Twitter's the opposite. So it'd be young underscore Dino underscore. Music's in the bio of both of them. All my music's on all platforms besides like SoundCloud and Spinrilla. It's on YouTube too, even if you don't have like Spotify or Apple Music, stuff like that. Yeah, videos up on YouTube too. Yeah. And follow me on Instagram because that's where I post most of my stuff. I'm about to post uh, in like a week or two with a new song about to drop. Hopefully, come with a visual too. It honestly might be my favorite song I've ever recorded because like this one was like I don't know. I just been going through some shit lately. Like was struggling with
Mm-hmm.
not like I don't know. Like everything's all right. It's like I'm just tired as fuck. Like
Yeah,
I just want things to go right and shit. Like I don't know. I'm just real tired lately. So I was inspired to write this one. I feel like this one might be the one.
sounds good. We'll put all those links in the description. Go check
Right.
him out on Spotify. Follow him on Instagram. This Young Dino, everybody, and we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Peace.